You guys already know what time of the month it is. It is TBR jar time. So welcome back. If you've never seen me do one of these videos before, this is how I choose my monthly TBR. This jar is full of prompts, and every time I pull a prompt out of the jar, I have to choose a book from my TBR cart that works with the prompt, and that book will be on my TBR for the month. I'm very excited because April was my birthday month and I received a lot of new books, so I feel like we have a very fully stocked TBR cart again. And also I wanted to let you know that I just uploaded, or like recently uploaded, a bookshelf tour. I get a lot of questions about my bookshelf in general, so if you want to know where anything is from, or you want to know how I organize my bookshelf, I'll leave that link down below in case you missed it, but I definitely recommend checking that out. So let's just jump straight in. I'm thinking we'll probably choose 8 prompts, but once we get to 8 we'll see. Part of me wants to choose 10, but I don't know if that's just too many. Last month I didn't do very well in completing my prompts. I only read 4 out of the 8 books that were on my TBR, so hopefully we do better in May. But first prompt is more than one person on the cover. This is such an easy one. I have a few books that I would really love to read this month, so we'll see if we can make those work with the prompts. Oh, there are literally so many I could do for this. I feel like Twin Crowns is one that I'd really love to do. I think I'm gonna go with Yours Truly actually. And just to show you guys, there are 2 people on the front cover. But this is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. It is her newest release. It was released in April. I honestly don't know why I haven't read it yet, because Abby Jimenez is one of my favorite authors. I've read all of the books she's released so far, and some of them are like my favorite books ever. And I really just feel like every new book she releases is better than the last. So I'm hoping this continues that trend, I guess. And I hope this is even better than the last. This is a companion book to Part of Your World. So I'm pretty sure that this centers around the best friend of our main character in Part of Your World. I don't think you'd have to read Part of Your World to be able to read this. It's very much a companion rather than like a series. Of course, if you want the full context, if you want the full backstory, I would recommend reading that one first. So I'm pretty sure both of our main characters in this book are doctors, and I think it's a bit of a workplace romance in terms of like that's how they meet, because they work together. And I think they're going for the same promotion or something along those lines. I feel like Abby Jimenez has this incredible talent of writing these books that are such fun, light-hearted rom-coms whilst having so much depth to them, and the characters are so well fleshed out. So I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. I hope I love it. And I've honestly heard so many good reviews about it already, so I'm excited. This is a great way to start our TBR for May. Moving on to the second prompt. We have a book with orange on the cover. Okay, I mean, we have a lot of options for this. I feel like the most obvious one is this one. I picked this up recently. This is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Like, would you call this yellow or orange? I feel like this is definitely more of an orange shade. I feel so lucky to have this in my hands. This is an early copy of Love Theoretically. I'm pretty sure it comes out in June, and I'm really excited to read it. But again, I feel like we just have so many options. Also, another option that I think, yeah, I really want to read is This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi, who is the author of the Shatter Me series. I know a couple of my friends have read this recently, and they gave it like good but not great reviews, and so I'm intrigued to see what I think. I feel like these are 3. I think I'm gonna go with This Woven Kingdom, only because I've been meaning to read it for quite a while, and I think this is the perfect prompt for it. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if these end up on my TBR as well, or if I just read them in May in general. Number 3, a book you're planning to annotate. Ooh, this is kind of hard because I don't really annotate that many books. I don't know. Okay, actually, I'm currently in the middle of my ACOTAR reread. So I technically only started it in April. I read ACOTAR and ACOMAF during April, and I fully annotated ACOTAR. Well, yeah, I guess fully annotated. I wrote notes, I highlighted things, I put little tabs in, and if it wants to focus on it, yeah, you can see all the tabs and all of the little things that I annotated, which means now that I'm done with this, I'm up to A Court of Wings and Ruin, which I also would love to annotate the same way that I annotated ACOMAF. So maybe we'll add ACOWAR to the official TBR. I probably would have got to it anyway, because I'm also buddy reading the ACOTAR series with my friend Soph, which is so fun. She's reading it for the first time, and being able to hear her thoughts and her opinions on the books as she reads them for the first time is so fun, because it kind of feels like I'm reliving it. But also me reading it for the second time, it's honestly better than the first read in my opinion. I'm having so much fun. fun going back to this world. It honestly feels like coming home. I know that's dramatic, but it's just so comforting to come back to this world with these characters, and I'm noticing so many things that I didn't notice the first time, which is really fun. So I'm really excited. It really matches my hoodie that I'm wearing. I'm so excited to have this on my TBR. Wow, I'm like so giddy about all of these books so far. We've only chosen 3, but I'm like literally so excited. It's a bit silly how happy books and reading makes me, but there are worse things. Prompt number 4 is one person on the cover. I feel like this is semi-hard because I feel like a lot of, do I have any that have one person on the cover? A lot of them either have 2 people or literally no people. We have a house on that one, landscape, 2 people, 2 people, 2 people, 2 people, 2 people, 2 people, no people, no people, no people, no people, no people, 2 people, no people, 1 person. Okay, actually this is perfect. Okay, wait, that was book 2. Let's go with book 1. I was really hoping I would be able to fit this book in with one of the prompts for this month because I've really been missing the Shadowhunters universe, and the books in the last hours are like the last ones that I have in this universe apart from the like short story collections and things that I haven't got to. But I'm really excited to start this trilogy because I've heard just incredible things about it, but I'm also so sad because obviously once it's gone, it's gone, and like I'm done with this world. But in saying that, I can always do rereads, and as I have recently discovered, rereads make my heart so happy, so I'm sure that I will do that with this world, this universe, this series. But I'm so excited. This is Chain of Gold, The Last Hours, book 1 by Cassandra Clare. I didn't read any Shadowhunters books in April, but I feel like I've been reading them every month before that since the end of last year. I've been like slowly making my way through the Shadowhunters universe and all of the Shadowhunters books. So I think it's time to pick up The Last Hours, book 1. I honestly don't really know what it's about in terms of plot. I'm pretty sure it centers around characters who are related to characters from the Infernal Devices. Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I guess I'll figure it out as I go. So far we have 3 fantasy and 1 romance book, so let's see if we can get some more diversity in terms of genre on this TBR. Prompt number 5, give an author a second chance. Ooh, interesting. Which author have I tried and not like loved? There's a lot of authors on my TBR cart that I have never read from before, and there's a lot that I've read from and loved, and I feel like the point of this prompt is to go for an author that I've tried before and not loved. I feel like the book that I see that works the best with this prompt has to be Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I read To Love Jason Thorne probably a little over a year ago now. I did not love it. I didn't like it. It was cringy to me. The consent was questionable at best, and it was just like not it in so many ways for me. But I've heard such incredible things about Marriage for One specifically by Ella Mays. I feel like this is like a favorite book for so many people, and I am hoping and praying that it is just worlds better than To Love Jason Thorne, because if this is not good, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to give up on Ella Mays because she just might not be an author for me personally. I think the only reason I've put this off is because it's kind of chunky for a romance book. It is pretty much 500 pages, but the cover is cute. Number 6. A book that includes travel. I feel like this surely is the perfect book for this prompt. This is When in Rome by Sarah Adams, but I'm pretty sure Rome in this book is referring to a small town rather than overseas, which is like still travel, but I honestly don't know much about the plot of this. She drives off in the middle of the night for a break in Rome, Kentucky that is. So yeah, I think it's like small town vibes. It's still kind of travel, right? I guess I make the rules. It's my video. It just sounds really fun. I think I want to give it a chance. I have read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, and I really want to read some of her other books because I feel like she just writes very wholesome, sweet, cutesy stories, and I love books like that. That is definitely very up my alley, and I don't know why I haven't read more by her. I liked The Cheat Sheet. I didn't love it. It wasn't like a favorite of mine, but it was still like really enjoyable. Also, it's blurbed by Abby Jimenez. That's a good sign. Quick, fun, slow burn rom-com. Abby Jimenez said it's a slow burn. I freaking love slow burns. I feel like every romance should be a slow burn. I feel like every romance that is a slow burn makes the romance so much better because it's just so much more satisfying when they finally get together. Like if you get together before the like 80% mark, like I don't want it. I am trusting Miss Abby Jimenez on this one, so we're gonna add this to the TBR. Prompt number 7 is a non-fiction book. Actually, this is perfect because there's a non-fiction book that I've been wanting to read that I've had on my TBR for a while. hiding around the other side. This is called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by, oh, I really struggle with this last name, Lori Gottlieb. I love the cover of it. And this is non-fiction, but it's not like a super self-helpy vibe. Like, I think it's more of like a memoir vibe, kind of. I could be so wrong with this, but that's the impression I've got from reading the back of it. I'm pretty sure it's about a therapist who goes to a therapist and some of the discussions they have. But yeah, I think she discusses some of the patients she has and the issues that they have and how their issues have helped her see some of the things in her own life in a different light. So it feels like it's more of a narrative kind of non-fiction rather than 3 dot points to change your life, like do these habits and you will be successful. It doesn't sound like it's going to be like that, but it's also chunky for a non-fiction especially. I feel like some non-fictions are really short and it kind of motivates you to read them all, but this is like, what, 400 pages? But I'm really intrigued, and it's been sitting on my TBR for quite a while, so I feel like it is time. And also one of my goals for this year is to read 12 non-fiction books, and we're going into May, and I've only read 3 so far, so I do need to keep that going. So this can help with that. Next up, the newest book on your shelf. Okay, you know what? I don't want to say I'm going to cheat, but I'm kind of going to cheat. I have a book coming in the mail, and I think I'm going to use that for this prompt because it's technically the newest book that I've bought. I just haven't received it yet, but it's literally supposed to come in the next like 2 days. But in April, I read Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is the first book in the, is it called the Chestnut Spring series? I don't exactly know what the series is called, but I read Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I did enjoy it. So I ordered the next 2 books in that series. I think it's Powerless and Heartless. I'm not sure which book is book 2, but whichever book out of those that is book 2, that can go on my TBR for May to go with this prompt. I think it's Heartless. Am I making that up? Either way, I'm going to choose that. Okay, so I've picked 8 books. I think I should stop there, especially because a lot of the books that I've picked, a few of the books that I've picked are in a series. And so obviously once I read the first book, I might want to continue the series. So I think I should stop there. Okay, fine, I'll stop there. Tell me why it is so fun picking pieces of paper out of a jar, because I feel like I could do it all day. Like, it's such a fun little activity for me, but I should stop there because otherwise it's going to be a bit of an overwhelming TBR. But let me just rearrange my TBR cart a little bit and we'll do a little quick fire summary. Alrighty guys, so for our May TBR, we have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Murphy, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, Marriage for One by Ella Mays, When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Our non-fiction pick is Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. And finally, the only book that I don't have the physical copy of yet is the next book in the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. So I'll add that to our TBR cart once it arrives. But that is my TBR for the month of May. I'm honestly really happy with it. I feel like we have a good balance. We have some fantasy, we have some romance, we have some non-fiction. And of course, as usual, I'm sure I'll reach for other books that aren't on this TBR during the month of May as well. So I'm really excited to see what I pick up and what I think of the books that I do pick up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you found some prompts that you want to try out as well. Let me know what's at the top of your TBR for May because I'm always looking for new recommendations as well. But I love you guys so much and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.